You are staring at a glowing screen, rereading a message you sent 3 hours ago that remains unread. Your thumb hovers over the keyboard, drafting a lighthearted follow-up just to check if they saw it. Deep down, a small voice tells you that sending another text will only make you look desperate. Yet the quiet uncertainty feels so unbearable that you almost hit send anyway. This is what happens when someone's hot and cold attention becomes the center of your emotional universe. Every minute without a reply feels like in silent trial where your worth is being judged. You replay your last conversation, searching for the exact moment where you might have said something wrong. You check their social media activity, noticing they were active 10 minutes ago but left your chat untouched. A knot of anxiety tightens in your chest as you try to rationalize their sudden distance. You convince yourself that if you just explain your feelings more clearly, they will finally understand and appreciate you. So you type out long paragraphs, lowering your boundaries step by step just to keep the conversation alive. An apology slips out for being too demanding, even though all you asked for was basic respect and consistency. Your own plans are canceled as you remain constantly available in case they decide to reach out. But the more you pursue their validation, the colder and more distant they seem to become. They take hours to respond with short, indifferent answers that leave you feeling even smaller. Exhaustion sets in from carrying the entire weight of a relationship that only exists when it is convenient for them. Most of us have been caught in this exhausting loop, believing that more effort will eventually earn respect. We tell ourselves that staying patient and constantly accommodating will show them how much we care. In reality, chasing someone who withdraws only teaches them that your time and presence are free commodities. When your attention is always guaranteed, it loses its meaning and value in their eyes. You end up trapped in a cycle of anticipation, waiting for a breadcrumb of attention to fix your mood. Your energy drains away as you monitor their every move instead of living your own life. You feel a growing resentment toward them, but even more so toward yourself for staying in this position. You desperately wish there was a way to break free without starting a dramatic argument or begging for change. You want your peace back, but you fear that pulling away will mean losing them forever. The price you pay for chasing validation is the gradual loss of your own self-respect. You compromise your standards just to avoid the uncomfortable silence of their absence. You mistake their sporadic attention for genuine affection, hanging on to occasional good days. Every time you double text, you hand over control of your daily happiness to someone who treats you like an option. You sit in a room full of possibilities, yet your entire mind is locked onto a silent phone screen. It feels like an impossible puzzle, but the solution does not require convincing them of anything. It begins the moment you realize that your presence was never meant to be a constant, unappreciated default. What you need in this moment is a psychological tool called Strategic Emotional Detachment. Strategic Emotional Detachment is the practice of calmly withdrawing your emotional energy and availability when met with inconsistency or disrespect. It is not a game of revenge, nor is it a manipulative silent treatment designed to punish the other person. Instead, it is a conscious decision to shift your focus from controlling their actions to mastering your own responses. Psychologically, when you constantly chase someone, you reinforce an intermittent reward schedule in your own brain. Intermittent rewards create a spike in dopamine every time they give you a breadcrumb, making the pattern deeply addictive. At the same time, your persistent pursuit removes any incentive for them to value your presence, because access to you costs nothing. When you step back and create space, you interrupt that unhealthy feedback loop immediately. Absence forces a natural pause, breaking the cycle of over-availability and restoring internal balance. By choosing silence over emotional noise, you stop feeding the dynamic that was draining your dignity. A common misconception is that walking away means you are being cold, bitter, or passive-aggressive. Real detachment is not loud or angry. It is quiet, composed, and grounded in self-respect. It does not require a dramatic speech or a final confrontation to justify your boundary. It is simply the quiet realization that your peace of mind is non-negotiable. When you stop offering your energy to where it is ignored, you reclaim your personal autonomy. Your brain gradually lowers its anxiety baseline as you stop treating their silence as an emergency. You begin to see the situation clearly, free from the cloud of desperation and overthinking. Strategic detachment reminds you that you cannot force someone to see your worth, but you can refuse to let them waste your time. Now imagine that exact same moment unfolding, but this time you know how to practice strategic emotional detachment. You are sitting in the exact same room, looking at the exact same message that has been left unread for hours. The familiar urge to type a second message rises up, but instead of acting on impulse, you pause. You take a deep breath and recognize the urge as a temporary spike of anxiety rather than a command. You place the phone face down on the table and step away from it. You do not reread the chat history, nor do you check their social media status to see if they are online. You walk into the kitchen, pour yourself a glass of water, and feel the steady weight of your own presence. You decide to put on your shoes and go for a brisk walk outside, letting the cool air clear your head. As you walk, you notice the world around you instead of obsessing over a digital screen. Your mind stops spinning with hypothetical excuses for their delay, accepting reality as it is. If they eventually reply hours later with a casual text, you do not drop everything to respond instantly. You answer calmly and briefly whenever it naturally fits into your schedule, without anger or drama. If they do not reach out at all, you remain entirely composed, knowing that their silence tells you everything you need to know. You realize that their inconsistency reflects their capacity, not your value as a human being. A profound sense of quiet relief settles over your chest as the urge to control their reaction vanishes. You feel lighter, realizing that you no longer owe anyone an explanation for protecting your inner peace. Your self-respect remains completely intact because you chose dignity over desperate pursuit. You spend the evening focused on your own interests, enjoying your time without waiting for permission. The situation that used to trigger hours of spiraling anxiety now leaves you completely unshaken. You stand firm in your own space, knowing that true confidence comes from self-possession, not external validation. You no longer view their absence as a personal rejection, but as a clear filter for who deserves a place in your life. You sleep peacefully that night, free from the heavy burden of trying to fix what you did not break. The next morning, you wake up with a clear mind and a renewed sense of purpose. You realize that by stepping back, you gave yourself the freedom you were searching for all along. Your energy is no longer scattered. It is concentrated on building a life that feels fulfilling on its own terms. You carry yourself with a quiet authority that naturally filters out people who only seek easy attention. You taste the quiet joy of knowing that your emotional stability belongs entirely to you. The phone sits on your desk, but it no longer holds any power over your state of mind. You have reclaimed your position as the author of your own day. You move forward with calm certainty, knowing you will never shrink yourself for crumbs again. That inner stillness is the genuine reward of mastering your own focus. You feel genuinely empowered, grounded in the quiet strength of your own boundaries. To start practicing strategic emotional detachment today, adopt the simple 10-minute pause rule. Whenever you feel the anxious impulse to double text or over-explain yourself, set a timer for 10 minutes and put your phone in another room. During those 10 minutes, perform one physical action, such as stretching, washing dishes, or stepping outside for fresh air. Physical movement grounds your nervous system and breaks the automatic habit loop in your brain. Ask yourself one simple question during that pause. Am I communicating to share, or am I communicating to soothe my anxiety? If the answer is soothing anxiety, close the app and leave the message as it is. Remind yourself that silence is often the most articulate response you can give. Practice this rule consistently whenever you feel the urge to chase reassurance. Over time, this small pause will build an unbreakable habit of self-possession. You will train your brain to seek comfort from within rather than reaching outward for validation. Small, intentional choices made daily create a permanent shield around your emotional well-being. Every time you hold your ground, you strengthen the muscle of self-respect. Looking back at that quiet room and the glowing screen from earlier, the scene no longer feels like a trap. The unread message is still there, but it has lost its power to dictate your happiness. You are no longer the person who waits anxiously for someone else to grant them permission to feel good. You have reclaimed your time, your focus, and your dignity. When you stop running after people who pull away, you give yourself the space to walk toward your own potential. Remember that your presence is a privilege, and your peace of mind is worth far more than anyone's casual attention. The most powerful move you can make in any relationship is choosing your own clarity over chaos. True strength does not demand loud arguments. It speaks through quiet, consistent boundaries. Think about the unread message currently sitting in your phone right now. What would change in your life today if you chose to put the phone down and step into your own strength? The choice to walk back to yourself is always waiting for you.